What's up, guys? If you just watched the last video of me in Rochester, I actually swung over to the downtown Metro Card Show the same day in St. Paul to give my thoughts and reviews on it. So let's get into it.
Heyo!
So nobody else sees
we're at it.
What's up, man?
So they've just been like walking this hall.
Hey, what's happening, buddy?
How are you, brother?
Good, how are you?
Good.
The gym is open, there's more tables.
Start asking, you know, the expedition, but it definitely isn't. It'll be fun. That's a 10.
It's a little more affordable.
It is way.
Like 12 bucks. I found a dude at one of the card shows, like the big card show at the River Center. I don't know too much about it. Some kid brought it up to me at a show.
What are you at on the wrap? Or, you know?
I got 115 on it. I'm paying like 50, 60 bucks. I paid like.
What's the Marvin?
I'd do the same for you. I'd like to be around 80 just to give me a couple bucks in my pocket. I paid that show, but I think he's gonna be the one that takes it.
I would be at like 200.
Yeah, why not?
Cool. Appreciate you, guy. Coop. There's a lot of success. That's what I would. So just dipping that show was a lot slower than I had hoped. Like I said, pretty much was all TCG, so not a huge surprise. Next weekend we have the Minnesota show, should be a lot more action. All right, let's get into rating the Downtown Metro Card Show in St. Paul. Before I start though, I just wanted to note this is like a pretty brand new show, and it was the first time this show ever took place in the St. Paul Johnson High School. And I mention it because I do think there's a learning curve when you're starting a show. You're trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. So I just wanted to let you guys know this card show just kind of is getting going. Okay, let's get into rating the vendor variety and the location. The location of this show was at the St. Paul Johnson High School in St. Paul. Just wanted to mention it's kind of in a little bit of a sketchy area. And the only reason I say this is like, hey, you might be bringing your kids, you might be bringing a lot of cash, you might be bringing a lot of cards worth a lot of money. So being comfortable at a show is really important. The show itself takes place in the St. Paul Johnson High School though, which is freshly renovated, beautiful school. When you walk in, long hallway, on both sides are vendors, and it's a wide hallway. I walk around with my wagon. I have plenty of room to navigate. You won't have any issue with that. Then you keep walking, you go into the gym, another 30 or 40 tables worth of vendors. Tons of room for you to walk around. That will not be an issue at this show. Unfortunately, when I visited, the air conditioning was out and I was wearing like a long sleeve jersey. I was dying. I was sweating. A lot of the vendors were sweating. A lot of the customers were sweating. I don't know if that's going to be an issue going forward or if it was just like a really unfortunate day. AC was out. That was not good. To summarize, this location had plenty of space for you to navigate, so bringing your collection and stuff to trade would not be an issue here. But it did have some minor issues like the AC being out, and maybe not quite as minor. The actual location's pretty sketchy. So those things being said, I'm giving this a 4 out of 10 for the location rating. Getting into the vendor / variety portion of the review, I just wanted to start by saying this was like a 90% Pokemon card show. So if you're after a sports card show, this is not for you. With this show being primarily Pokemon, it's kind of hard to have a variety because Pokemon isn't like sports where you can have these different parallels and way different sets and different sports. Pokemon's a lot of the same thing over and over again, so the variety wasn't super great. And I would say, you know, maybe 6 tables were sports cards. A lot of the vendors were really great people, super nice. It wasn't like anybody was overly mean, but I did want to note that like, hey, it'd be like $100 card and they'd have like a $300 sticker on it. So it's really, really hard to even start a negotiation process. Now, if you go to a show and a vendor wants $100 for a $100 card, that's fair. I understand that. You're a vendor there trying to make money, trying to get what your card's worth. Totally get that. But when you're trying to price gouge like that, that makes it difficult for everybody. For the vendor/variety portion of this, I'm also giving it a 4 out of 10. For me personally, I think the major things that they can improve on, and one of them is really simple, I think they should go back to the location that they originally started the show on. And then, yes, I think they either need to make it a full TCG show or incorporate more sports dealers. For the total show, I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. It's a 2.5 hour drive for me, so it's not something I would personally go out of the way for. But if I'm in town, I'm already at another show, or I'm already doing something else down there, I would stop by still. So if you're in the area, I still think it's worth checking out, especially if you are into Pokemon cards. All that being said, I still picked up some pretty cool cards. So here is the top 3 showcase. Starting off our list with number 3, this really cool, and I can kind of hopefully get you guys a better look at that. Marvin Harrison Spectra rookie. I think it's called, I don't know, I'm not even gonna try, like Neon Marble. But this is a rookie numbered to 5. I think this was a really cool pickup. This guy looked like he put on 45 pounds of muscle this offseason, expecting big things. But yes, very cool card to find. I think I'm going to get some heat for number 2 here, but this is my guy, man. I don't know why. I fell in love with Spencer Rattler. Pretty solid grade, 9.5 from SGC. Case hit rookie on this one. I think he's going to win QB1 battle out in New Orleans, and I think he's going to have an okay year. I'm not saying he's going to be Patrick Mahomes, but he will be Patrick Mahomes. And speaking of the devil, coming in at number 1, we had to go with the Patrick Mahomes Optic Red Yellow PSA 9. Obviously, this guy is pretty darn good at football. Finding his stuff in the wild, especially in the off-season, can be really difficult. So this was a cool one to find. Thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you in the next video.